Welcome back, everybody, to more of the Fruit of Grisaia. Here we are on Sakaki's route when I ended the game with, what's that? Well, we're gonna find out right now. Just as we were getting close to the dorm, I noticed something slightly out of place. The sound of multiple engines moving away from the entrance.
なんか車の音したよね。
Oh no.
学園長は夏休みでいないはずだし、何なんだろう。
Did they get Sakaki? Amana's the only one here with a motor vehicle of any kind, so it's pretty rare to hear engines running this close to the school. The principal and JB would be the main suspects, but as Mashiro pointed out, the former is on vacation, and the latter wouldn't just disappear before I came back. Spurred by a sudden sense of unease, I set off toward the dorm at a run.
ユージ？どうしたのよ、急に。
Damn it.
お兄ちゃん、大変なのよさ。
The instant I opened the dorm's front door, Makina comes running up to me. What happened, Makina?
いきなり、ユミちゃんが。マーキナ、落ち着いて何があったか話して。急だったのよさ。アマネーたちが買い物に出かけてすぐぐらいに車が急に止まって。ほんで、ユミちゃんはいるかって聞かれて、私が答えないでいたら、無理やりにでも中に入るぞって脅してきて。怪我とかなかったの？あんた大丈夫だったの？怪我とかさせられる前に、ユミちゃんから出てきちゃったのよさ。
Sakaki came out? Makina nods repeatedly.
ユミちゃん、これ以上みんなに迷惑かけられないからって荷物を持ってきて、そのまま車に乗っちゃったのよさ。そんな。どこ行くかとか言ってなかった？
This time the girl slowly shakes her head from side to side.
一言も言わなかったのよさ。みんな黙ったままですごく怖かったの。そっか、よしよし。
Amane hugs the anxious-looking Makina close and begins to lightly stroke her head. Damn it!
ユージ、どうしたの？顔、怖いよ。
Sure looks up at me, uneasiness in her eyes. You went with them voluntarily? Is this really what you want, Sakaki? An image of Sakaki's desolate expression on the night she dismissed me floats to the surface of my mind. A message? An electronic chime from my cell phone temporarily interrupts my line of thought. Sakaki! When I read those lines, the face that flashes before my eyes don't belong to Sakaki. It's the face of a woman who once spoke the same words to me, over and over again. A woman who never accomplished anything, never broke free. And then, a man with an angular face, reaching his hands after me, swinging his fists mercilessly into my face. The memories seem to rise up out of the tiny LCD screen and push their way into the present. That idiot! Closing the cell phone, I snap out the words reflexively.
ユージ？どうしたの？何かあったの？
Ignoring their concern, I fire off a question at Makina. Makina, what was the model and the color of the cars? And how many were there?
黒のエンチュリーで2台で来てたのよさ。
I see. Nodding, I glance quickly around the room one final time. I'm going.
ユージ！ちょっとあんた、どこ行く気なの？
That's the last thing I want to hear from you, Sakaki. I'm sick of it. I won't hesitate anymore. We both made mistakes, but I'm not about to let us repeat them. I sprint toward the front gate as fast as I can. Shit! A pair of cars carrying Sakaki already left a minute or two ago. For the moment, I need to get my hands on something I can use to pursue them. But of course, there aren't any cars conveniently lying around with the key in the ignition like in the movies. Money's motorcycle and Saber are out of commission too. What do I do? Just as I'm running through various possibilities in my head. I can hear someone humming a cheerful tune, soon followed by a carefree greeting.
Kazami-san, お戻りでしたか。
Sachi's returned, on a bicycle. Judging from the tranquil smile on her face, it seems she missed the earlier commotion already. Sachi, that's... Her bike is a medium-sized modern model with small tires, more than a little out of sync with the maid uniform. Sachi lowers herself to the ground easily with a little whoopsie-daisy, then lowers the kickstand with one smooth movement of her leg. A mini velo, eh?
はい、そうです。さすがは風見さん、よくご存知で。
An ivory-colored frame with two cute little wheels on either end. Since the tire diameter is small, it's easy to get it moving quickly. Even knew a few guys in my company with a passion for these things.
ここ最近、ウィーグレから毎日のようにメールが届いてまして、それで思い切って買ってしまった次第です。
Wiggle?
あ、ウィーグレというのはイギリスの通販サイトなんですが、風見さんご存知でしたか？
Is that a real thing? They capitalized it, so I imagine it's probably a real thing. I've heard people say these things are small but well made. Looks like it's true. With a few quick movements, I inspect the handles, seat, and the quality of the tires. Looks like she might have bought a slightly customized model. The frame seems to have been strengthened in places to endure bumpier conditions. This area does have a lot of unsurfaced or poorly maintained roads. Very typical of Sachi to account for these things in advance.
直訳すると、ヘイサチ、ポンドがボロ安で自転車安いから、フィッシュ&チップス感覚でチャリでも買わないかいとか、そんな感じなんですが。
Yeah, the Brexit really screwed him, didn't it?
そうそう、そもそもミニベロのベロというのはフランス語で自転車を意味してるんですが。
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't have time for that. We gotta get Sachi. Sakaki, damn it. Sachi, you think I can ride this without issues?
はい、もちろんです。整備も万全ですよ。試しに軽く乗ってみますか？
Sure. Do we tell her? I mean, she might worry. Well, I mean, she's gonna know anyway, right? They're gonna tell her. Sounds good. I swing myself onto the mini velo and put my feet on the pedals.
わ、早速乗ってくださるんですか？それは何よりです。今しがた油も差したばかりなので、実に素晴らしい走行性能が確保でき。って、風見さん？
See you later.
ヤッホー！ミハモライダーかっこいい！あれ？
Its wheels whistling cheerfully, Sachi's mini velo zips jauntily along the road. This thing's fundamentally designed for riding around town, but fortunately it's capable of reaching a decent speed as well. The cycle computer installed in the center indicates an average velocity of around 35 kilometers per hour. Can't compete with a motorcycle or anything, of course, but it's still excellent performance for the size. This really is going to be tough. That set him up against motor vehicles. And they have a head start. There's a decent amount of traffic since it's summer vacation and all, but they can still leave me in the dust easily enough. I'm not going to get anywhere at this rate. Fortunately, they're traveling on a winding, narrow, prefectural road of the sort you'd often find on this type of small peninsula. Country roads present their own opportunities for the experienced rider. With a little skill and luck, it might be possible to catch them even riding a mini velo with a maximum speed of 50 kilometers per hour. Assuming that the cars are headed for the metropolitan area, the entrance to the toll road 15 kilometers ahead will probably be my last chance to catch them. Any further than that, and a bicycle just won't be enough. Alright. I feel bad for Sachi, but I'm gonna have to treat this thing a little roughly. Leaning heavily to the right, I turn the bicycle onto a farm road that leads to a nearby mountain. The tires crunch through rough pebbles, my whole body's jolted by small impacts running up through the frame. Soon I'm surrounded by forest. The trail ahead is one of the more blatant examples of a bad road you'd ever likely to see. Still, I push forward without hesitating. Within seconds, leaves and branches are slopping heavily against my face and arms from all sides. I'd been prepared for the badly maintained road from the start, but this almost exceeds my expectations. Truly terrible conditions. This region was once used as an army maneuvering ground. Wouldn't surprise me if this thing dates back to those days. The designers clearly weren't interested in ensuring a pleasant or easy ride. It's impossible to avoid catching the tires in the natural holes and rocks that litter the path. I struggle along as best I can, using the handles in my own weight to avoid the worst obstacles. Still, no matter how skillfully I ride, my speed keeps falling. My feelings of impatience are giving way to outright frustration. God damn it! Even so, this is a definite shortcut. Cutting straight through will get me to my objective much more quickly than following that meandering road around and around. Lowering my head, I pump the pedals as fast as possible, warding off branches with the one hand when necessary. The slope of the road begins to grow slightly easier. Eventually, the overhanging trees begin to thin out as well. And suddenly, my field of vision expands dramatically. It seems I've reached the summit of this foothill. The trail is increasingly level underneath me, and it's less of a challenge to move the pedals. Best of all, the practically non-existent road finally changes to something more worthy of the name. There he is. Alright, there you are. I catch a glimpse of two black sedans on the prefectural road stretching out below. Cars like that aren't common around here, and they're exactly as Makina described them. Sakaki has to be in one or the other. Now it's just a question of catching up, I guess. The winding road they're following only continues for another 7 kilometers or so. I've got to somehow get ahead of them and set up an ambush before they get off. It doesn't help that I don't know exactly where they're going. The city's my best guess, and since they're on this road I can speculate they're trying to take the highway, but I have no proof. If they take a different route, I'm SOL either way. What? At this point I realize my cell phone in my breast pocket is vibrating. Amane? 8 missed calls. They must have been startled by that sudden exit. I could always just fill in later, but I'd feel bad to make them worry too much, so I decided to answer the call. Are you Amane? I think you're aware, but I'm sort of in the middle of something. Let's talk later. Sorry about that. I'll get in touch once things have calmed down a little. What? Look, I'm trying to follow cars in question. Don't really have time to... What? I see, so that's what this is about. Sorry, that would be help. Did Sakaki get in touch or something? Not perfectly, but we should be able to hold a conversation. What's the information? I'm following the Mishima Cape coastline. The cars are heading north of the prefectural road, and I'm taking a shitty mountain road running almost parallel. And it's a bit of a shortcut. No. I guess they were heading to Tokyo since Sakaki's father's involved. Am I wrong? Heliport? I come to think about it, I think Sakaki mentioned this before. Apparently it was built more or less for the exclusive use of the company's top brass and their families. Stuck in my mind as a particularly impressive example of late capitalist excess. Yeah, now that you mention it, but I'd heard they weren't using it anymore. Seriously? I see, that makes sense. I can't do a thing if they ship her out of here in the air. The heliport isn't far from the inner exchange leading to the highway, maybe 700 or 800 meters. It's entirely plausible given their current position, and it's hard to think an unusual situation there is a coincidence. Forget fishy. It's probably where they're taking her. Alright, I'm going to end the call, thanks. It's helpful to know their destination, but that doesn't make it the chase any easier. When she gets on the helicopter, game over. I absolutely have to catch up before then somehow. But seriously, this road is the worst. Branches slap against my face, vines catches in my hair, and the rocks randomly lying across the ground are constantly slowing the rotation of my tires. The cars, visible only for brief moments between gaps in the trees, seem to slowly be pulling further away. My odds of catching up are getting longer. I'm gonna need some luck at this point. The mountain road I chose as a shortcut was ideal in terms of distance, At full speed, I might have gotten ahead of them by now, but riding on hilly terrain while pushing my way through thick undergrowth cost me even more time than I'd expected. I have to take advantage of the time loss when they disembark. It's not like they can just drive the whole car onto the helicopter. At the very least, I'll take them a minute or two to get ahead of everyone out of the car and into the chopper. Now that they pulled ahead, I can only hope that gives me the chance I need to close the gap. Practically tumbling down the descending path branching off the mountain trail, I finally rejoined the perfectual road. The hell point in question is only 400 or 500 meters ahead, but the cars are no longer visible. Can I make it? Ignoring the traffic light ahead, I let my momentum carry me across the intersection, weaving between the cross traffic. My ears ring from a dozen honking horns as I rush directly toward the heliport. A small facility on a sprawling plot of land surrounded by fences comes into view. This has to be it, if I remember the map correctly. With a powerful squeal from the brakes, I force the bike from its maximum speed to a halt. Damn! I'm too late! Just as I'm rolling up to a fence, the sound of a helicopter rotor fills the air. There are ways to get a chopper back on the ground, but few that involved it staying in one place. Staying in one piece. And none that are available to me now. And following a car is one thing, but chasing a helicopter on a mini velo would just be absurd. I mean, forget a mini velo. No matter what kind of vehicle you have, keeping up with that thing from the ground is going to be very close to impossible. So much for that plan. I watch as the helicopter slowly rises into the sky and turns its nose to the west. For some reason, the direction of its flight strikes me as a little strange. Wait, they're not going to the city? The helicopter is heading almost directly away from Tokyo. It maintains a course to the west, flying parallel to the Shonan coastline. If I remember correctly, to the west of here there's... But as I'm thinking about the helicopter's possible destination... A completely out-of-place Kansai drawl rings out in the dry summer air. What, you talking to me? Compared to Mane's reflexively soft Kyoto dialect, he's got a seriously strong accent. Probably from the Kawashi area? Probably. I see. In other words, my presence in the middle of the road is obstructing your passage. He's got a dome of hair bleached such a blinding blonde that even Mature would bow down. And a sharp beak nose that actually works for him somehow. Expensive clothes, too. About the last guy you'd expect to have such a thick drawl. A character redesign might be in order, But that blonde hair isn't the only thing that clashes with the Kansai accent. Once I get a look at the car he's driving, my eyes stop moving entirely. A Gallardi Spider? What's a car like that doing here? Out of all the out-of-place things in front of me, this is without a doubt the most bizarrely misplaced of all. It's the Lamborghini company's signature model. An extreme luxury sports car in the class of a Ferrari with a sticker price that could buy you a nice chunk of real estate. You don't say.
ビビるやろランボルギーニ乗ってるやつはおってもこんなに乗ってるのはわしぐらいやで
I need to borrow your car.
ベタベタ触らんとってんか
Yeah, this thing's about as fast as they come. I just started to believe I'm seeing a car like this in Japan.
まあせやな、俺もこうもうちょいそれ相応の場所に行ったらバーッとスピード出すねんけどな日本やと捕まってしまうさかいにな
Anyway, you've got a seriously nice ride here.
もう分かったやろわしパティかなあかんねんはよどいてくれんと時間に間に合わん
Leaning in close to the man's beak nose, I speak in a very deliberate tone of voice. A very nice ride.
Huh?
How ridiculous Yuuji looks in that. In inverse proportion to the man's fading shriek, the needle on the speedometer soars steadily upward. Amazing! It's my first time actually riding in one of these things. The acceleration is powerful enough to make my whole body tremble. If this was a carefree joyride, I'd be perfectly content to tear around all day in this thing. This is a truly magnificent car.
せやから言ってたやろ。なんぼしたと思っとんねん。
Oh, it's impossible to hold a conversation unless we quite literally scream at each other. From what my new friend tells me, the car itself hasn't been remodeled in any way, but it still roars as loudly as any hot rod I've ever seen. Absolutely not the sort of car you should be shipping to Japan of all places.
おお、スピード出しすぎやろ。兄ちゃん、スピード見てな。
There's no such thing as too fast in a Lamborghini. Plodding around town doing the speed limit in a monster like this would just be disrespectful, don't you think? I mean, why even have it at that point if you're just gonna follow the stupid rules like speed limits? As the man's pressed back into his seat by the G-force, his attempt at speech slurs incoherently into a high-pitched little shriek. In the sky ahead, the helicopter continues its calm journey west along the coast. Maybe the wind's a little rough today? Well, for whatever reason, it's flying down a pretty relaxed pace. Hasn't been getting too far ahead of us. Of course, that'd still be completely impossible without this absolute beast of a car, but still.
兄ちゃん、さっきも言うたけどもやんな。車は貸してるさかい、ちゃんと時間になったら返してや。パーティー遅れたらめっちゃ怒られるね。お土産の七面鳥も持ってかんと。
I see. Wouldn't do to show up late to a party, I suppose.
せや、だからそのどこに向かっとるんかだけでも教えてくれへんか。
Sure, there's a small corporate airport not far from here.
空港？
Owned and operated by East Beach Transport, a company under the East Beach Railways Group umbrella. It's mainly used for in-company freight planes carrying parts and equipment from overseas. But every once in a while, a private jet does fly out of there, and the helicopter carrying Sakaki is headed straight for it. You understand where I'm going with this?
はあ？わかるわけないっていうか、榊って一体誰や？
Once that airplane takes off, it's going to become very close to impossible for me to help Sakaki. It'd probably ship her off to some foreign school if I was in his shoes. There's always a risk of information leaking if you hide her in Japan. But that risk gets a lot smaller overseas.
だからそんな裏事情はどうでもええねん。あとどんくらい借りるのか、それだけ。
Oh, right, sorry. We should be there in less than 20 minutes at this base. Just tough it out for a while.
ほんまやろうな。マジ勘弁してや。
The helicopter seems to have increased its speed ever so slightly. It's very gradual, but I think they're starting to increase the distance between us. I'm going to pick up the pace a little.
まだ上げるの？嘘やろ。ちょっともう。
Don't talk, you'll bite your tongue. The instant we turn onto the straight stretch of road, I press the gas pedal to the floor.
はい、はい、ありがとうございます。先生のご紹介でしたら、私としても安心でして。はい、娘も本格的に英語を学びたいと前々から言っておりましたので。もちろんです。門間さんの件も含めまして、近々そちらにもお伺いしようかと思っておりまして。はい、そちら方面についてもどうぞご期待くださいませ。はい、ではこれにて失礼いたします。入りなさい。
失礼します。
状況はどうだ？
今ヘリで空港へ向かっております。順調に行けば明日早朝にもアメリカへ到着する予定です。
順調に行けばでは困る。万全を期したまえ。
はい、失礼いたしました。
例の軍人崩れのガキはどうした？
由美子様をお連れする時も姿は一切見えませんでした。
そうか。油断はしないようにな。
はい、わかりました。失礼いたします。
海外にでも運んでしまえば、そうそう変な虫もつかんだろうさ。榊家のためにもおとなしくしていてもらうぞ、由美子。
We gotta save her. She's going to America. Can't have that happen. Scenery flies past it at an astonishing speed. There's a bit more traffic now, but the oncoming cars flinch in terror the instant they see us approaching. They pull over to the shoulder one by one as we roar forward down the road. I'm surprised we're not being pulled over yet. Still didn't catch him. Most of my concentration is focused on manipulating the steering wheel, but every few seconds I glance over at the helicopter from the corner of my eye. It hasn't really picked up speed, but the terms of this race simply weren't fair to begin with. They're flying a direct course through the sky with no obstacles or signs to worry about. Really different from your chugging along on a public road, no matter how nice your car might be. My friend's voice has by now lost almost all of its initial vigor, but he keeps up a constant stream of questions about the time. Seems he's really worried about that party of his. You should be worried about not dying. I mean, this guy essentially kidnapped you. Okay, one more turn. It's a straight shot after this. The car drifts into the intersection, tires squealing as the rear swings out to the side. A small sign for the airport flashes past in a fraction of a second before we speed off again. Another 3 kilometers to go. Got to beat them there and find a way to intercept their cargo. For now, I simply tear down the road running parallel to the coast at full speed. The entrance to the airport comes into view, then a small control tower and a number of nondescript cargo aircraft. Among them, there's a single plane that's suspiciously different from the others. A small craft with stripes in the East Beach Express red and blue on its flank has to be a passenger jet belonging to the company. And just at its side, the helicopter we've been chasing all this time has already landed. Shit! Too late again? As the crow flies, it's only 300 meters away. Close enough that I can actually see the small group of people boarding the jet. I grope desperately for some sort of solution, but even if I ram my way into the airport, there's not much I can do now that they're fully embarked. Frustrating as it is to admit, I'm out of ideas. The jet begins to taxi for takeoff practically the instant the door shuts behind the last passenger. So much for my wishful thinking about a multi-hour delay. Wait. The turkey. Can we use the turkey somehow? Like throw it in the engine or something? Blow up the plane? Sorry, but I don't have time to chat about your bird right now. Bird? The instant the word leaves my mouth, something occurs to me. Hey. I've got a question. That turkey of yours, is it frozen? Hurry! You know how long turkeys take to cook? You were going to a party with a turkey that's frozen? You'd never cook. Probably be over. I see. A wise choice. Hopping out of the driver's seat, I walk over to the passenger side of the car and let it grab hold of the man's shoulder. You're on the wheel, alright? Just do exactly what I tell you. This time I lean down and bellow into his ear. Hurry up!
お父様よりお聞きかとは思いますが、このまま冬季はアメリカに向かいます。
アメリカ？
はい。お聞きではありませんでしたか？
なるほど。厄介払いにはちょうど良さそうな場所ね。
後ほど資料をご用意いたします。お疲れでしょうし、お休みになられた後にでもお目を通していただければと。
わかりました。
The car smashes through the thin fence separating the airport from the public road with a satisfying crunch. This is how you get on terrorist lists, people. You can't do this shit nowadays. Like back in the day, they had the movies where like the guy would go onto the airport and try to stop the plane of his beloved going off, you know, kind of like this. You can't do that now. I mean, you really couldn't do it then, but even now more so. Aiming for the runway where the jet's already in position for takeoff, we charge forward at maximum speed. We're never gonna pay that off, are we? Alright, line her up beside the jet. After that, just hold steady and keep the accelerator to the floor. While shouting instructions to my good friend, I retrieve a large, flashy box from the back seat. Passenger jet takes off around 285 kilometers per hour. We should just barely be able to catch up in this thing. We can make it if you keep that pedal all the way down. I'm counting on you.
何すんの
I take out the enormous lump of bird flesh from its bed of cold gel packs and hold it high into the air like a championship trophy. What the fuck? How would you even there is no way you could throw that and hit that engine. The wind pressure, I mean the wind alone would blow it off, wouldn't you think? This image, like this is totally the thumbnail. I keep like, what the fuck is going on in this video? That's exactly why I want you to question that when you click on the video. God, the wind pressure. We're traveling at a speed sufficient to lift an airplane into the sky. The moment I stand up from behind the windshield, the air rushing past shakes my body violently. Somehow holding myself steady, I dig my fingers into the turkey and move my hands slightly forward. It's an absurd plan. I don't have a chance to rehearse. I can only hope I get the timing and angle of release correct. Still, I've got no choice but to try. Hey, can you get this thing going any faster?
むっちゃいいよな、もう無理やって。それより俺の鳥どうすんねや。
God, it won't be possible if the plane hits V1 speed. We've got to make it before then. Alright, good. Keep going like this. The car slips out from under the engine and begins to push slightly ahead. Carefully watching the distance, I wait for the right moment. Another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Now! Throwing both arms up with all my might, I fling the cold lump into the air and let the wind carry it back. The turkey soars majestically into the sky and then, instantly captured by the powerful suction of the intake, curves toward the engine.
何の音だ。バードストライクです。エンジンに鳥を巻き込んだようです。なんだと？飛べないのか？無理です。急停止します。早く原因を調べろ。代わりに飛べる機の手配を急げ。はい。何か外で異変が起こったかもしれん。停止したらすぐに調べるんだ。
No one noticed the car, like, driving alongside it?
わかりました。よし、行け。はい。どうした？
何かあったの？
大丈夫です。様子を見てまいりますので、こちらにてお待ちください。おい、今行くぞ。何があった？
なんなの？一体何が？
She's sitting at the very back of the 20-seat cabin, crouching as if to hide herself. Her frightened expression changes to one of stunned astonishment the moment our eyes meet. Yo. I speak in the same casual tone I always used to greet her in the classroom.
どうして？あなたにこれ以上迷惑をかけたくないから。だから。
I mean, looking back, you know, Yuuji was kind of rushing to save her. I mean, she went without any kind of, you know, she went without a fight. So how do we know that, you know, maybe she actually wanted to go to, you know, America or overseas or whatever. We don't know. Maybe this is what she wanted all along, and she said so herself. She didn't want to cause us any more trouble. Oh, the cell phone. Before Sakaki can continue, I snap open my cell phone and show her the screen. Yeah. She probably intended it to be her goodbye. But instead, those words brought me here. Again with the I'm sorry, huh? I told you not to say that anymore, didn't I? Sakaki's bewildered expression crumples. All of a sudden, she's on the verge of breaking down.
だって私、あなたに本当に迷惑ばかりかけて、だから謝らなきゃって思って、あなただけじゃない、寮の他の子にも、今まで私に関わってきて親切にしてくれた人にも、みんな。
Little by little, her eyes fill with tears. Her voice quavers as she wipes them away with her hands. Well, in that case, keep going until you can repay them properly. Nobody wants your apologies, alright? Try gratitude instead. That's right. With a nod to Sakaki, I slowly move my hand off the seat and extend it forward. Once, when I was at absolute rock bottom, My master reached out a hand to me. And now, imitating her as best I can, I reach out to Sakaki.
風見くん
Sakaki observes my outstretched hand uncertainly. With eyes still full of hesitation, she looks up to me. You're right here, Sakaki Yumiko. I can see you just fine. Come with me. For years, she's refused to acknowledge the girl in the mirror as anything but a character in a play. Shrinking back from the world, she lost her place in it entirely. And so, I begin with a simple affirmation of her existence. I'll get you out of here. I'll hold you up until you can walk, and I'll speak until you can find your voice. Don't dance on anyone's strings. You can live your life however you want. I came here to show you how.
逃げるの
Not quite. I want us to search for an answer.
探す
Sakaki Yumiko is a daughter of the Sakaki family. She's also, first and foremost, a human being. In the course of a life filled with painful events completely beyond her control, she very nearly lost sight of that. But it's an absolute fact. Right now, this girl's lost the ability to live on her own terms. So until she can find her answer, I'll just have to keep her safe. Now that I've made my decision, I'm not going to back down no matter what comes next, even if my own country comes after me. Let's go, Yumiko. Sakaki reacts strongly to that word. I haven't used her name since the day we reached our first wary truce. Today I'm breaking that seal. It's the clearest way I have to demonstrate how I see her now. Come on, Yumiko. I bring my hand closer still. I think she understands. I'm not talking to the daughter of a railroad tycoon or an antisocial problem child. I'm talking to a fellow human being. And because she understands, her face grows all the more uncertain. A part of her is questioning whether she deserves this. Yumiko! Instead of saying it's alright, I call out her name and push my hand forward. Sakaki's breath catches in her throat. She moves her mouth slightly without producing a sound, as if to practice. And then, somewhat hesitantly, she speaks.
いいの本当に
Yes.
分かった
Yumiko nods and takes my hand. At first, it's a gentle, hesitant touch, but soon her grip grows firm. I clasp her hand tightly in return and draw her up out of her seat. There'll be others coming soon. We need to hurry. Leading her by the hand, I exit the plane by the escape chute. I quick glance around, suggest no one's pursuing us yet. Still, I leave at a run, pulling Yumiko along behind me. It's the first time I've ever really held the girl's hand. It feels slender in mine, surprisingly small. From now on, I'll have to lead Yumiko safely forward, shielding her from danger. It's a serious responsibility. I knew that from the start, but right now it feels terribly real. Having to protect someone, it really weighs you down, Asuko. Wasn't like this for my master when she pulled me along all those years ago. Right now, Yumiko's small hand feels unbelievably heavy. Can a piece of trash like me really carry this kind of weight? I can feel doubt oozing out of me like sweat. That's no good. It'll only make Yumiko uneasy if I start brooding. Shaking my head a little, I resettle my hand around hers. A tight grip so that it can't slip away. Beyond the quickly parting clouds, I can see the sky gradually turning to red. Night will be here before long. Alrighty, well, I think I'm going to end the video off here, and it's been quite a video indeed. What kind of ramifications are going to happen to Yuuji now that he's essentially kidnapped the daughter of a very powerful man who obviously wants nothing to do with her, but you know, Yuuji just keeps popping up. So what's going to happen to Yuuji? Are they even going to be able to go back to school, I wonder? I don't know. So many questions. So many questions. It's going to be a quite exciting story forward, it seems like. So, with that, I'm going to end the video off here, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Have a good day.